AI as a force multiplier, a topic that will be spoken about Mr. Mohammad Helmy. He leads Blackberry Cylance business across the Middle East, Turkey, and Africa as the regional director. Helmy brings 20 years of experience as an executive working across Europe, Middle East, and Africa in IT security, with particular expertise in information security networking, telecommunication, and mobility. Let's all give a big round of applause for Mr. Mohammad Helmy.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the introduction, and assalamu alaikum and good morning. Today I'll be highlighting on the AI as a force multiplier, okay? And actually a good point to start with, as my friend Simon said in his presentation, trust nobody, okay? Which is the point that we have to deal with in our security. So I will take one step back before going into the AI and look into this in details. And if we go there and we see how the criminal works and how the criminal run their organization, actually they run their organization as a business. And as a business, they're actually after your business. Okay, they're trying to take your business to gain money, okay, and use the money to fund their business and getting bigger and bigger. Okay, and I would love to start with a quote from Will Satin. Okay, Will Satin was a bank robber in the 50s. Okay, and there is a lot of movies about this guy. Okay, and in a famous jailhouse interview, they asked him, "Why you rob banks?" Okay, and he answered very direct, straightforward answer: because this is where the money is. Okay, this is back in the 50s. Banks is there where the money is, but today money is actually in our data, in our IP, in our infrastructure, in our servers. Okay, this data and information is actually the effort and the time that we put, the money that we invest in our company to do this project, to carry this infrastructure, drawings, banking, financial sector, whatever it is. Right now, actually, the data is the money. Okay, and those criminals are after our money by all means. Okay, so we saw yesterday and in today's presentations different numbers, okay, on the cost for unmitigated attacks per hour. Okay, and this research, it says 40K euros per hour. I saw this morning a different number, but they are all more or less depend on the researchers and the region. But at the end of the day, it's a big volume of money you have to spend to mitigate and the cost for unmitigated attacks. Okay, and we have seen what WannaCry did in our networks a couple of years back, and actually till today it's still effective. You can see it every now and then. Okay, right now ransomware is acting as an ATM, or if we can say it like a prepaid firewall in front of our infrastructure. Okay, in front of my data, I have to pay to get access to it. So, and this has been going on since a very long time. If we look into the evolution of hacks and security, okay, it started in the 70s, okay, where it was just a scientist trying to, it was in 71, if I remember correctly, just a scientist want to see if he can really hack the network, okay, and put on the system or in the screens of the systems in his infrastructure a message like, "I'm the creeper, catch me if you can." This was in 71. And at the same year, this guy forgot to put a kill switch. It was not malicious. It was just a challenge. He was trying to challenge himself. Will I be able to do this? Will I be able to kind of hack the system in our infrastructure? And he managed to do it. Okay, but unfortunately, he didn't put a kill switch, so it spread it up, and it was not controllable. Okay, and in end of 71, okay, this was the year we have the first AV. It was the Reaper AV, the Reaper to kill the creeper, okay, to be able to wipe it and remove it. And it's not until the mid-80s where the hackers start to hack for just hacking, okay, for destruction. Okay, and we saw a lot of examples at that time. Till 1989, okay, where they start to monetize that, okay, getting money out of the attacks and hacks, okay? And it was very funny because it didn't start from a computer-based. The WHO in 1989, okay, have a big mailing list, physical mailing list, okay, to have a group to stand in front of the aides, okay. So they collected more than 25K physical addresses, okay, to change information, reports, and research. And one guy based out of the UK, okay, felt like this is a good opportunity to make some money. So he shipped floppy disks at that time with a survey, okay? Fill in the survey, print it out, send it back so we can share information and get your feedback. And they didn't know that at that time they installed the first ransomware or malware at that time, okay? So after the 90s reboot for the system, okay, the malware or the ransomware will kick, okay, and it will encrypt the file names. And at that time, if you remember, there was no UX or GUI for the system. You have to know the file names and location to be able to find it, okay? So if this is encrypted, you will not be able to navigate your file and you'll not be able to get it back, okay? And ironically, he charged people at that time $189, okay, to get the keys and be able to decrypt the files and get your files back. If you look to the $190 or $189 at that time, okay, it is equivalent to $350 nowadays. And if we look at $350, it's more or less the value that WannaCry were charging their customer or their victims for. Okay, so it is very funny if we look to the hackers that they are valuing our data more or less the same value, around $350. $350 is like the threshold. More than that, you will say, oh, I will just drop and get a new machine, okay? And so this is the average range that you are ready to pay for it. And this is how the criminals get their money from, okay? By sharing information, by actually integrating together. So this is a small list of the syndicates that is available today in the criminal landscape. Okay, just a small list. If we look into it, we'll not go through them all. So Yakuza is the Japanese mafia. Okay, they are not anymore doing bank robbery or big crimes. They are just in the cybercrime now, or part of the business in the cybercrime. And actually, they are not developing themselves. They are just using others to develop malwares and hacking tools to allow them to get into your data, okay, to make money. Slavic, he's not even a syndicate, he is a man, okay. Slavic, a couple of years back, there was a $4 million bounty for his head, okay. And to get such a big number, you have to upset a lot of people. But he pays his team and his colleagues a lot of money. They will never turn him in. He still exists. He has the game of Zeus and the Zeus botnet, and still very profitable. He's making, with his business club, more than $100 million a year. And there are a lot of people doing the same. Even some of them, they do not exist so far, like 414S. They are not here so far, but their files still exist. People are still using their files to integrate it with their malwares. They're making a lot of money. And we have seen what ransomware have done a couple of years back, okay? And this is just some information about the cost or actually the profit that the criminal organizations are doing, okay? Ransomware total value went around $1 billion. And what really makes me laugh, the crimeware or the CAS, cyber crime as a service, okay? So this became like a well-known service right now. You can pay, okay, some money to get those criminal organizations to get things done for you, okay, or the bad things done for you. This is how they do it right now, okay? The total value and the profits of those guys and the criminal activities actually exceeds $1.5 trillion. So can you imagine? Those are the guys and the organizations that we are actually trying to be up in front of them. Their volume of profit exceeds $1.5 trillion. This is actually like a GDP of very big countries, not an organization or a bank or anything. So we at Cylance, we believe that to be able to stop these kinds of criminals and attacks, we have to augment the human wisdom with the AI. Okay? This is our only way to stand in front of those guys. Okay? The human challenges, as we can see, the data volume, shortage of staff, budget limitation, crisis management. And on the other side, the AI can really give us the force multiplier, real-time prevention, and learn from billions of data samples that we cannot do as humans. Building a machine learning model, okay, to be included in Cylance, or solving any problems, by the way, okay, it's more or less the same. You have to go through the same flow chart, okay, to have your algorithm that can stop and mitigate the risk that you might have in your network, starting by identifying the problem, collecting the data, labeling the data, okay, and then split it into two groups, okay, for modeling and training as well as testing. Then feature extraction, okay, get the features to be able to dig deep in the AI. Create your model, test the model, and then you will be able to solve the problem. And definitely it has to go round and round to make sure that you have the right accuracy in your system. If we take a very simple example, if I need to identify a problem, like to identify an animal or a dog, okay, the more features I will extract from the dog, the more I will be able to detect either this animal is a dog or not. Okay? In a simple way, if I took only a couple of features like the eye or the ear, I might get up in a problem, okay, later on if I have only 2 or 3 features. But if I have, like what we are doing in Cylance, 2.7 million features in each and every file, that's completely different. So if we look to a dog, we can go into different feature extractions, like the eye, like the ear, the hair, the color. Even we can go deeper into the DNA, the blood, the type of blood, the bacteria in the mouth, whatever. If it is only a couple of features, then I might get mixed between a small dog and a cat. But if I take bigger samples, I'll be able to identify the differences. It's the same between the good and the bad, the dog and the cat, or whatever the problem I want to solve. After getting these features together, I'll be able to build a multi-dimension matrices. From there, I'll be able to identify this group is cats, this group is dog, and the more features I get, I can even classify more and more. And again, as I said, it's the same for the data. The more information I get, the more information I test, I'll be able to classify more in a multi-dimension matrices. And as I said, we in Cylance, we test in each file around 2.7 million features to be able to detect if this is a real malware, if this is real trouble to your network or not. And it is working. If we look into it, okay, we never actually encourage our customers not to update, but we always say that we are very confident with our AI, okay? And if we look back, and this is real data from some customers, okay, that we had in like 2016, we had some customers who were running 2 years old version of Cylance agents while they still were able to block and stop attacks. Prediction is the key. AI were able to predict that this is an attack. This is a new type of attack, but still an attack because looking into the details of the DNA of this file. So artificial intelligence is actually learning from the past and predicting and shaping the future. Without artificial intelligence, cyber is losing strategy. This is actually by the NSA director, Michael Rogers. The same, a great mind in the AI, Professor Andrew from Stanford University and the founder of Coursera, okay, he actually did a nice analogy between the AI and the electricity 100 years back and its effect in humanity. It's the same. It changed everything. Electricity changed our life 100 years back, and this is the future with AI. And it is there, actually, in everything we use. Okay? If we look nowadays, not only in security, but in different stuff. Okay? If you see Tesla, self-driving cars, okay, they are using AI to be able to detect the ways and driving the car. Okay? It's the same in our mobiles today. okay, in Siri, in Google, in different applications. We are using AI to be able to detect and give you the right service and solving some problems. If we look into Cylance, okay, we are a data science company that does security. We invest heavily in the AI, okay? If you look into the top 20 investors in AI, you will find Cylance is the only IT security company that is working in this space or invest in this space. We actually hire PhD people for scientists and mathematicians to do the models and tune the models to be able to stop the attacks and the threats that we have in our network. So why Cylance in a very simple way? Okay, because what I have said, we have a very simple and effective model, okay, completely in our agent. You don't need to connect to a cloud. You don't need to connect to anywhere. It's completely working offline in your network to stop the attacks. Our efficiency, 99.7, and we even have some other reports that is more than that, okay? Very low false positive. Stop malware before execution, okay? And that's the beauty. It's not behavior, it's AI. We are checking the features. We are not waiting for the behavior and execution, okay? So it's effectiveness, simplicity, because the AI is doing most of the job for you, okay? Very easy to manage and a full replacement for the current AV. And by the way, we are one of, maybe we are the only certified replacement for AV by Microsoft in this domain. Removing the unnecessary layers of security that we are actually doing right now by installing different types of agents on the same machine, which is killing the performance. You don't need that anymore. And the impact of the AI and the performance is very, very lightweight, okay? 1 to 2% impact on the CPU and almost nothing in the memory. So I'll leave you with the question, like I would love to say, that $1.5 trillion question: can we afford be just reactive after all what we have seen? Can we afford but just doing response into our network? A lot of people are actually trapped in the area of responses, detection responses, rather than real prevention in your network, in your agent. I'll leave you with this one, okay? And thank you so much. If anyone has any question, please let me know. Any questions? Yes, please.
Hi, how are you?
Thank
You mentioned your false positive 310,000 in your system.
0.003, yes.
Is it real time?
Yeah, it's by third-party
Value?
testing. Yeah.
About false negative.
False negatives, we have a report for that. I don't want to just say a number that it is not backed up by facts, but if you can pass by us, we are just in front of the room here, okay? We can share information, we can share third-party reports as well to show you how effective is the AI. And it's by NSS, by the way, this one, okay, the one I just presented, is by NSS Labs.
And your database is upgraded in real time?
That's the point. It's not a database. That's the point. Actually, it's a good question.
Yeah.
We are not using a database. We are not signature-based endpoint protection. We are an algorithm. Mm-hmm. So each and every attack for us is a 0 day, is a new one. Okay? Because we do not look into a database to check thousands of files if this is the file, a bad file or a good file. No, we are just testing the file itself using the AI.
File
and it is good.
File trajectory, I think that.
Sorry?
File trajectory.
I don't know the name if I don't want to say no, yes or no.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Any more questions?
Thank you very much for your presentation. I have one question regarding the AI application in IS, Industrial Control Systems.
In what, I'm sorry?
In industrial control systems, because some real-time information are being processed in the operations, right? So what will be the impact if AI integrated to the SOC for OT environment?
It's more or less the same. okay, the impact is minimum, and it is tested for that. It's tested for the IT infrastructure, and it's tested for the OT infrastructure. Not only this, especially for the OT, we support a lot of legacy systems, like Windows XP, for example. Okay, we go back for this because of the OT, because we have a lot of customers in this domain. They are still running systems like XP, for example. Okay, so that's tested, that's certified, and we can also show it to you, as I said, in a small demo in our booth. Thank you.
Hi, sir. At the back of you. Yeah, what is the basic difference? We have machine learning and AI-based machine learning. The major difference, what is the advantage in one single sentence?
Between the machine learning and the AI machine learning, let me say something. I'm sorry, I will not be able to answer this one because of my knowledge, okay? But again, I have the technical team in the booth. They can actually answer it in more details.
You can answer that malware can be detected earlier
Yes, and this is the prediction, okay? Definitely, I'm not going to predict that the WannaCry is coming, but when the WannaCry is there, I will be able to predict that this is a ransomware because I look into the details of the DNA of this file. Again, before execution, because if we look into ransomware, this is the challenge. Because for example, WannaCry, if WannaCry starts the execution, you will not be able to stop it. Okay, it's done.
So is there any rollback?
You don't need, because the AI will detect it and stop it before the execution. As I said, each file, we look into 2.7 million features in each file. Okay, and based on that, we take a decision and we completely pre-execution. Sorry?
The bank transaction has only been done half.
Yeah.
And suddenly there is an attack.
Okay.
Will you stop that in between?
A specific scenario, we can discuss it with the technical team, okay, to be able to answer specific scenarios for that.
The AI is like the mind. So if something going wrong, we can stop it.
Yeah.
Give a signal to
Yeah. This is usually what is done, okay? Yeah.
But the thing is that, on the other hand, you have to satisfy the customer. The customer should not feel that his transaction is terminated or all.
Yeah, we will only terminate or stop the bad thing, not the good traffic or the good files. The good files will go, the bad files will stop.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's give a big round of applause for Mr. Mohammad Helmy. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.